most Salesforce implementations fail, to be candid, because of internal chaos. There is a couple stakeholders that are misaligned on what they want, and one person's saying one thing, another person's saying they want another thing. The actual people who are using Salesforce don't even use it the way that their managers are telling them to use it. And I mean, it's just chaos internally, and that's really what we see the biggest reason why they fail, is because nobody is aligned on what they're actually trying to build. So you end up spending a lot of money hiring someone like us or internally on an employee to build out a Salesforce org that you don't even actually use or really know why you're building what you're building. So that would probably be the number one reason that we see them fail. Another reason is that they were not set up appropriately to begin with. So not just bad data and bad reporting, but like bad data modeling, bad data structure. If you go into Salesforce, there's a schema that shows you like a really nice view of all your objects and how they're connected. And sometimes you'll go in there and it's like so insane. It's so insane how many different custom objects they have and how many custom fields they have and their relationships to them, or even just over usage of text fields that are retaining data that should be in more of a lookup or a pick list. So really just not designing Salesforce correctly or setting up the core data model correctly is another big issue. Validation rules, approvals, all of that being set up correctly so that you don't just have your sales team willy-nilly going in there and throwing data into fields that are not appropriately set up. There's so many reasons why your Salesforce could fail, but I think in general, it's like, how ready are you for a tool like this? Salesforce is a huge tool. It's enterprise grade. You can take it all the way to the top. The best of the best have Salesforce, let's be real. So are you treating it like an enterprise tool? Are you treating it by taking a step back with your leadership team and saying, hey guys, what do we actually want to build here? Where do we want to take this in a year to 5 years to 10 years from now? Let's not rush through this decision. Let's make sure that we truly understand your business model. That's another thing, which is crazy, but a lot of businesses don't even really understand like their business model, which makes it really hard to build a software that's supposed to reflect your business model. All these small tricks and tips to make your Salesforce implementation not fail, but the biggest thing I would say is like take a step back and think about holistically what your business is achieving and doing, like the core of it. Really sit down. It might even be a good exercise. Like we do this with our company, is we sit down and learn about your business. And it might be silly, but it might be a good exercise for you to sit down with your business, get everyone together at a round table and relearn about like, what are our products? How do our customers buy it? What's their user experience? I think that taking a step back and looking at the fundamentals will help create clarity about what is really needed versus what is overly building it, because that's also a trap. You can overly build your Salesforce and it's too many automations or too much customization. And then it's like chasing a rabbit trying to figure out where that field is or what that thing is doing. And then that's when things really get tricky, because if you overly complicate it, then people start building band-aids to fix something that they couldn't find. And that's when you start getting duplicate flows or duplicate triggers. Lack of ownership of the org is like so underrated. Having somebody who is going to stand up and say, yep, I'm going to take charge of the documentation. I'm going to make sure that everyone understands where everything resides, whether it's SOPs or processes that are happening within Salesforce. Having ownership of that and having a Salesforce owner, somebody to really make the decisions, is super important, because when you're a smaller company, this can happen where there's too many people who are just making a change over here, making a change over there. You really need one top person to be able to, whether it's change management or somebody to make the right decisions around what is going into Salesforce and does this align with our North Star. That's really important as well to help make sure that your Salesforce can evolve over time. I talk a lot about documentation, and I think that it's the most undervalued thing. Nobody seems to do it, and it drives me crazy because I'm like, I'm picking up your software in the middle of, I don't know, maybe you've been around for 10 years, 20 years, and I'm picking up your software and it's so expensive for me to go in and reverse engineer what you did. I can't imagine if you're hiring somebody somebody, maybe once a quarter you're hiring somebody, and they have to come in, all of that time to onboard them and have them reverse engineer it is really expensive and pretty crazy, because they're also not setting them up for success. They could potentially not know where something is and make a mistake in Salesforce. So documentation is huge. Making sure people know where everything is huge. Yeah, and then I guess last would be iteration strategy is a really big reason why things fail. Classic software development life cycle. You go from dev sandbox to stage sandbox to production sandbox. The whole time you have somebody double checking and making sure that it looks good. You get feedback. If that feedback says, no, that does not look good, then we're going to iterate on that for sure. We're going to iterate. We're going to change it. We're going to make sure that we're making those testing and those changes before we push it to production. We want to keep evolving our software. We want to keep making it better. We want to keep asking the people who are really using it, do you enjoy using this? How do you use it? You know, we're trying to make you more efficient. We're trying to make you make us more money. So how can you do your job better? And so iterate, get feedback, and then keep going through that classic life cycle so that you have proper change management and you have documentation and you just know where everything is. Those would be my tips. And I think those are the major reasons why most Salesforce implementations fail. And they're all easily avoidable.